Irresistibly invisible. The secret to getting anything you desire. There are many secrets hiding in plain sight. Today we unlock secret ways to get what you desire without chasing, begging, praying, or even exhausting yourself. Imagine stepping back, disappearing from the never-ending race to meet everyone else's expectations, and transforming yourself into the kind of magnetic presence that people can't help but chase. Like a star who vanishes from the spotlight, only to have the paparazzi desperately tracking their every move when they reappear. Imagine stepping back, quietly fading into the background, only to find that your true desires begin to gravitate toward you. Whether it's new opportunities, genuine relationships, or meaningful recognition, instead of chasing what you want, you create a calm, intriguing space that naturally draws everything you've been seeking right to your doorstep. Think of Houdini's famous disappearing act. When he left the stage empty and silent, the audience leaned in, holding their breath, desperate for him to return. You want to create that same magnetic pull in your life. When you step back, the world yearns to see you come forward again. Does it sound impossible, unreal, or even out of reach? That's because most people never stop to realize this. The harder you push for something, the more it slips away. But when you pull back, when you focus inward, something magical happens. You create a vacuum, and nature hates a vacuum. It has to fill the space you leave behind. Picture a quiet forest path. If you constantly shout and thrash about, wildlife scatters. But if you sit calmly under a tree, the birds and animals gradually return, curious and unafraid. By becoming still, you let the world come closer. By the end of this video, you'll know 4 invisible secrets that can take you from overlooked and ignored to admired and have what you desire in life, business, and relationships. So lean in, Houdini. Because once you learn how to disappear the right way, you'll never come back the same. Process 1. Disappear to create a vacuum. Step 1 is simple yet terrifying. Disappear. Not to vanish from the world, but to withdraw from those who don't value your presence. When you're constantly available, always acting first, always saying yes, you become predictable. And predictability doesn't spark curiosity. It breeds boring. You disappear, not in the literal sense, but emotionally. When you're constantly available, you become background noise, predictable, easy to overlook. But when you step back, you create space. And that space is like the vacuum, powerful, magnetic, impossible to ignore. Think about it like a favorite song that's played too often. Eventually, you stop really hearing it. Now imagine that song stops playing for a week. Suddenly, when you hear even the first few notes, your ears perk up. Your absence works the same way. Your silence, your lack of immediate response draws people in, making them realize what they've been taking for granted. Here's the thing. People don't appreciate what's always within reach. They value what feels fleeting. Think of a sunset. You only stop to admire it when it's about to fade. When you disappear, you create that same urgency. People start wondering, where did you go? Why aren't you responding? What changed? Was it something they said or did? But don't confuse this with playing games. This isn't about manipulation. It's about reclaiming your energy and breaking the cycle of constantly giving without receiving. You're not vanishing to hurt anyone. You're vanishing to focus on yourself. Because the truth is, what happens next depends on what you do with this newfound space. Process 2. Rebuild in the shadows. Disappearing creates curiosity, but curiosity alone isn't enough. This brings us into step 2, rebuild in the shadows. The time you've reclaimed, it's not for sulking or self-pity parties. It's for reinvention and transformation. Imagine you're an athlete who steps away from the public eye, not to vanish forever, but to train harder, learn new techniques, strengthen weaknesses, and return as a more formidable competitor. Or think of a quiet inventor in a workshop, tinkering away at prototypes that no one knows about. By the time they reveal their work, it's a masterpiece. Focus on growth. Whether it's hitting the gym, learning and improving new skills, or diving into a passion project, this is your chance to upgrade yourself. Not for anyone else, but for you. Picture yourself like a master artist, quietly working on a masterpiece that no one gets to see until it's complete. In relationships, this makes you magnetic. In business, it makes you indispensable. People can't resist someone who's evolving. They'll wonder, what are they working on? Why do they seem so different? Think of the caterpillar transforming inside its cocoon. No one sees the struggle inside. When it emerges as a butterfly, the world is in awe. Your private growth sets the stage for a grand re-entrance, making others realize they underestimated you before. When you focus inward, you change. And when you change, people notice, even if they don't understand why. But rebuilding isn't just about self-improvement. It's about becoming someone they can't quite figure out. Process 3. Cultivate the power of mystery. Mystery is powerful. When people can't read you, they can't stop thinking about you. It's human nature. We're wired to obsess over the unanswered, the incomplete. It's known as creating open loops, which I am creating in your mind right now. Consider a best-selling thriller novel. If it revealed the killer's identity on the first page, no one would keep reading. By withholding information, the author keeps you glued to the story. You can do the same in your own life. Share less, hint more, and let others lean in to learn more about you. Think about it. When was the last time you were truly curious about someone? Chances are it was someone who didn't lay everything out for you. Someone who left just enough unsaid to keep you wondering. That's what you're aiming for here. Start small. Stop explaining everything. Post a photo of an empty park bench or a half-finished book and say nothing. In conversations, leave a bit of silence after spoken words. Don't rush to fill in the gaps. This isn't about being distant. It's about letting people lean in, ask questions, and want to uncover more about you. And here's where it gets powerful. Mystery doesn't just apply to relationships. It works in business, too. Have you ever noticed how the most successful brands don't shout? They whisper. Apple doesn't overshare their next big product. They let you wonder. That intrigue, it's why people line up for hours to be part of it. Similarly, luxury fashion houses release teaser campaigns, never showing the entire collection up front. They'll hint at a few signature pieces, drop cryptic images or short videos, and before you know it, fashion enthusiasts are glued to every detail, eagerly awaiting the grand reveal. By the time the runway show happens or the lookbook goes live, the audience is practically hungry for it. Professional marketers in the software world use the same principle. Consider a SaaS product launch. You sign up for a newsletter or register for a webinar, and over time, they strategically release small nuggets of information. Maybe it's a short preview video, a hint about a groundbreaking new feature, or a success story from early beta testers. By the time the full demo is unveiled, you're not just informed, you're excited. You've invested time and curiosity, and now you're hungry to hear the offer ready for the full course. You are your own personal brand. Understate, tease, and let others lean forward. eager to understand more about you. When you resist the urge to overshare, you create intrigue, making your presence and offerings feel exclusive and desirable. Process 4. Set boundaries that command respect. The final piece of the puzzle is this: boundaries. Without them, you're just spinning your wheels. With them, you become unstoppable. Boundaries aren't walls, they're filters. They let the right people in and keep the wrong people out. They tell the world, this is my time, my energy, and you need to respect it. Here's an analogy. Imagine your attention is like a VIP ticket. Not everyone gets one. When you're selective about who has access to your time and focus, something remarkable happens. You become magnetic, and they start chasing you. Think of a high-end nightclub with a velvet rope outside. Only certain people get in. Does it push good people away? No. It makes worthy people value the chance to enter. Your time and energy are the most exclusive events in town. Those who disrespect them, they get left behind. Think about it. The people who respect your boundaries aren't just drawn to you. They value you. In business, this means setting firm expectations with clients. In relationships, it means walking away from anyone who doesn't meet you halfway. And in life, it means saying no to anything that doesn't align with your self-worth. They're not your people if they can't respect your time or recognize your value. Let them drift away. By doing so, you free yourself to welcome those who truly appreciate what you bring to the table. And that vacuum you created now has space to fill with new opportunities. Boundaries don't push people away. They invite the right ones closer, and those who can't respect them. They're not your people. Here's the truth. The secret to getting what you desire isn't about shouting louder or chasing harder. It's about stepping back, focusing inward, and letting the world come to you in a way your inner world has set the stage for. When you disappear, rebuild, embrace mystery, and set boundaries, you don't just change your life, you change the way the world sees you. So ask yourself, are you ready to disappear, not to hide, but to grow? To become someone so magnetic, so irresistible, that everything you desire starts chasing you? The choice is yours. But remember, the first step is to stop chasing. So tell me, seeker, are you ready to embrace the invisible secret? Are you truly ready for what they call the Houdini Effect? The power to stop chasing, to grow, to vanish into your own transformation, and emerge as someone the world can't help but notice. This isn't just about getting what you want. It's about becoming who you're meant to be. A person who commands respect, admiration, and desire. Not by demanding it, but by embodying it. The first step is the hardest, letting go. But once you do, you'll realize the only person you've ever needed to chase is yourself. The truth is, most people fail to realize that the most vital supporter missing from their lives is themselves. When you learn to become your own biggest inner fan, others will naturally be drawn to follow. Picture a confident performer on stage who doesn't need the audience's applause to feel worthy. Their self-assured presence makes the crowd applaud even harder. When you recognize your own worth and cheer yourself on, you radiate a self-contained energy that others can't resist. But here's the challenge. Don't just listen to this message. Live it. Start today. Decide where you'll pull back, where you'll rebuild, and where you'll draw your line in the sand. If this message resonated with you, let us know by hitting that like button. It helps more seekers like you discover these powerful insights. Drop a comment below and tell me, in what area of your life are you ready to step back, go invisible, and transform into someone stronger and more self-assured. If there's someone you know who could benefit from these truths, share this video with them. It might be exactly what they need to reclaim their own power. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always the first to receive more game-changing strategies on your journey to becoming the person you're truly meant to be. Until next time, never stop growing, never stop thinking, and never miss a chance to elevate your thinking for those brave enough to uncover and travel this path. The journey begins now.